Are the Kansas City Chiefs going to trade up in round 1 of the NFL draft? Well, we're starting to get some reports saying that's a potential possibility. Obviously, the Chiefs don't have a lot of needs, so Brett Veach, it's your time to make a move. We're going to talk about all the latest right here on the Chiefs Report, including some hypotheticals of what a trade would look like. We certainly do appreciate hanging out with us. I am your host, Chase Andrews. And before we get into the entire video, I want to ask, right off the bat, do you want them to? Type Y for yes, type N for no. What are your initial thoughts on this entire thing? Would you like to see the Chiefs trade up in the first round? Would you not like to say it? Say hold tight. Well, you can get in on it. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know what Chiefs Kingdom is thinking down in the comments. All right, so PFF released 6 different first-round trades that included the Kansas City Chiefs in one of them, and it's interesting. Let's just say that. So let's first start with the trade, because the trade in itself is not exactly the most wild, outlandish thing I've ever seen. It's a Chiefs trade to the Lions, and where they swap first-round picks, Chiefs moving up from 32 to 29. And then in exchange, the Lions get the Chiefs' 3rd-round pick, and the Chiefs get the Lions' 5th-round pick at number 164. First of all, in regards to this trade, I think there's better value out there, and I'll show you better value later on in the show, but it's not bad. It's something that I'm not going to be upset about. It's something that would happen. But here's the thing. What did PFF do in terms of who they took at number 29? Who did they take with the pick, given the Chiefs moved up in the first round, although ever so slightly? Well, they decided that the Chiefs would take Kingsley Suamataia. Yes, Kingsley Suamataia, the guy that I have said you could get at 32 multiple times. Now, I'm not going to sit here and trash Suamataia. I'm not saying he is a bad pick by any stretch of the imagination. I think he is an amazing tackle, and I would love to see him on the Kansas City Chiefs. But don't get the fact that you're trading up for this. And so, I mean, all I can really say is just, what's going on here? I don't know what in the world. To me, this is just a facepalm. If you're going to trade up, okay, go get A.D. Mitchell. Get a wide receiver. Go all in on a wide receiver. Go see if Odunze falls. Go trade up big time. Why in the world are you taking an offensive lineman when you're trading up? It makes no sense to me. Now, I know that this is becoming more of a likelihood the Chiefs will draft a left tackle in the first round rather than a wide receiver. And I'm okay with that. I'm not saying that that is the problem. I'm saying that you trading up for a left tackle is the problem. I think you have to go after a wide receiver if you're going to trade up, like Adonai Mitchell. And here's my opinion, and the last thing I'll say about why this is dumb. I did a PFF mock draft 3 times today. Every single time at 32, all 5 of these guys were available. Obviously, the one in the back end, Pooney, I put him in there. He's probably available in the 2nd round for the Chiefs. Jordan Morgan is the one that I'm taking at 32 if you're taking a tackle. I think he is overall the most well-balanced tackle in the entire, not the entire class, but overall the one that that the Chiefs would be most likely to pick. Kingsley Suamataia is great. I'm not saying I love him. I think he is also great. But in my opinion, those 2, and then it kind of falls off a cliff. I know that Blake Fisher has been one that we have talked about on the Chiefs Report a couple of times, but we've talked about him in the 2nd round. A solid tackle is going to be there at number 32. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. And there is no reason for you to go give up your 3rd-round pick in exchange for a 5th-round pick just to move up to take a tackle that you could potentially get at number 32. Maybe they do that, though. I mean, again, there are a bunch of rumors swirling that the Chiefs are going to trade up. There's been a couple of reports saying that that's a real possibility. But I just don't understand the report or the fact of the matter of taking a tackle if you do trade up. Looking at the wide receiver prospects for the Chiefs, here's what I could see being available around the later part of the round. Obviously, the top 3 being Malik, Nabers, Odunze, and Marvin Harrison Jr. will probably not be there. But A.D. Mitchell, Ladd McConkey, Troy Franklin, Xavier Legette, Keon Coleman. There's a potential that Brian Thomas Jr. falls to the back half of the draft as well. They're all very solid names here, but I think past AD, there is a bit of a drop-off with McConkey, Franklin, Legette, and Coleman. I think that there is more of a severe drop-off from A.D. Mitchell to Ladd McConkey and the latter of that wide receiver group than there is from Kingsley Suamataia to Jordan Morgan. That's not a big drop-off to me. I think those two guys are, in my mind, neck and neck in terms of how I would like to see them becoming drafted and what I would have them ranked on a big board. Drafting left tackle is fine. I'm not saying that is the problem. I think a left tackle is a very important part of this team, and given you have Wanya Morris as your starter and Donovan Smith still remaining as a free agent, I fully am okay with getting a left tackle in the first round. Just don't trade up. There's no reason to trade up for one. If you're going to get one, stand still. Hold tight with your draft picks, and you can go from there. I like the idea of trading up. I just want it to be for a wide receiver. But in the first round, I think there are two options, and it's left tackle and wide receiver. And so now's your time to answer that question of which one would you rather have for the Kansas City Chiefs? Would you rather have LT for a left tackle, or would you rather have wide receiver WR? I think it's going to be WRs in the chat, but maybe I am wrong. Let me know your opinion down in the comments section. Before we move on, got to tell you about one of our amazing sponsors in Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS. You're going to get a first deposit match of up to $100. And I know that football season may be over, but guess what? The action on the diamond, well, it's just heating it up. Opening day was yesterday, and there are still a lot of amazing baseball picks that you can put in for the weekend. I got some picks. We're recording this the day prior, so got these ones in just in time. Let me know if they hit. Justin Steele, more than 4.5 hits allowed. Shohei Ohtani, more than 1.5 total bases. And Rafael Devers, more than 1.5 total bases. Let me know if they hit for those Thursday games, but you can put in a bunch of different stat types. Obviously, these two are my favorites. I like these two for hitters and pitchers. Total bases is super fun, and I think there's a lot of good value in that. And then hits allowed for pitchers, I think there's also really, really good value in that. And once again, if you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS, you're going to get that first deposit match of up to $100. But it's not just baseball. They've got NBA, NHL, PGA. They have so many different sports and so many different stat types that you just cannot miss out on Prize Picks. And right now, it is the perfect time to join. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types where I make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Once again, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use the code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. Shout out to Prize Picks. It's daily fantasy sports made easy, and we'll have that link in the comments in the description of this video. All right, here is what a good trade-up looks like, in my opinion. And I'm not going to pat myself on the back. I'm not going to be boastful, but this is one that I constructed. Here's what I've got. The Chiefs trade up to number 25 with the Green Bay Packers, so a little bit farther than 29, and they don't give up as much. They still give up their third-round pick, but that's it. You give the third-round pick up, and you give up 32, and you get to 25. You don't get the fifth-round return, but I still do feel like this is a really solid trade. I think it is a perfect one for the Chiefs. And before you ask, I know people are going to be in the comments, I don't know if they'd accept that trade. This is why I tested it through PFF. I think that their trade calculator is somewhat decent, and it would at least give us a regular idea of what would be accepted in a natural NFL draft landscape. So this was accepted. And obviously, with the acceptance of this trade, the pick that I had, it's A.D. Mitchell. You should have known that by now. If you're trading up, you're going to get A.D. Mitchell. I think this is the trade that Brett Veach should try and go after if he goes after any of them. AD would just make this offense something that comes from cartoons. I mean, it's just absolutely wild what this offense would look like with him on the roster because his stats at UT were exceptional. And you think about this team already with Marquise Brown, Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce. I know there's still hope for Kadarius Toney in a lot of senses. Sky Moore, if he plays in the slot, he's been proven to play well. You have Isaiah Pacheco and obviously Patrick Mahomes and a very talented offensive line. This would make this offense even better than it was last year. And in my mind, it'd be far and away the best offense in the NFL. 3 years in college, 2 of those at UGA with the Bulldogs. And fun fact, he had 5 games in the college football playoffs. He scored a touchdown in every single one of them. Over 1,400 yards throughout his entire career. And I know that you're sitting here and saying, well, I like Xavier Worthy too. I thought we were going to draft him. His 40-yard dash time is amazing. And don't Chiefs like speed? They do, but this is where I want to try and maybe make some comparisons as to why AD is the better choice, because he fits the mold of what the Chiefs want in a lot of different places. The first thing that we have to talk about here is Marquise Brown. To me, he is what Xavier Worthy is. That really kind of makes it to where Worthy does not work. It's not making sense. And if you compare the two stats, they're not too far off. The touchdowns far and away favor AD Mitchell by 6 yards, though. It's in favor of Xavier Worthy by nearly 200. But again, you know me. You've watched the show long enough. I'm an average guy, and 15.4 does a lot more work for me than 13.5, even though it seems so close. Again, these two guys are completely different skill sets, and that's why they worked together in college, and that's what I'm trying to make sense of. You already have a Xavier Worthy on your roster and Marquise Brown, and now you have AD Mitchell if you get him. That's pretty dang good. Pick a Texas wide receiver. Which one would you rather have? Would you rather have AD Mitchell? I want you to type A. Or is it Xavier Worthy? Maybe you think I'm dumb and you want somebody with speed. Well, now's your time to get in the comment section. X for Xavier Worthy. Adonai, AD Mitchell, type A. Pick one and let me know down in the comment sections. All right, what's going to actually happen? How will the Chiefs actually go about this? I personally believe the Chiefs are just going to hold tight. If I'm Brett Veach, and I've said this countless amount of times, I wish I was a GM of the 2-time Super Bowl champions back-to-back. I'm not, but I feel like I have a pretty good knowledge of the team. In that sense, I'm not going out and offering these things because as a back-to-back Super Bowl champion, you get this thing that Brett Veach described as the Kansas City discount when it comes to signing players and stuff like that. However, because you've won back-to-back Super Bowls, I think it hurts you in trades. I don't know about you, but if a team that just won back-to-back Super Bowls is asking me for a trade, I'm probably not going to offer it. I'm probably not going to say it unless it's something that I literally cannot say no to. Brett Veach, I just don't think it's worth it to go out and offer these things. So sit back. If someone does come to you with an offer, listen to them. You'd be dumb not to. Maybe there's something that comes up from the Packers, from the Rams, from the Lions, from somebody in the upper tier or at least mid-tier of the draft that could potentially help you get AD Mitchell. But if nothing comes, it's okay. Ladd McConkey is great. This is a very deep wide receiver draft class. I think overall your left tackle situation will be figured out as well. This will be just fine whether you make the trade or whether you don't. But there are more and more rumors starting to come about that people are going to start offering the Chiefs stuff because, well, it makes sense for the Chiefs to trade up. They've got some draft picks held in stock, and their needs are very slim. So there's a chance some team could get a lot of stuff from Kansas City if they were to offer a trade. We appreciate y'all watching every single day on the Chiefs Report here by Chat Sports. Hope you're having a wonderful Easter weekend. And for now, Chiefs Kingdom, peace out.